We'll see how many men in their pants Jay's got in his garden then, is it? The boys.
Jack, Paul, Jack.
Something, brother.
Oh, mate, you alright? So, obviously we're all doing this pole sport. See how Jack did it then?
Yeah.
More upright.
Lean over way too much.
Yeah. I know it's a lot to take in, so literally
Get that.
just little things like that. Nice Jack. Nice, mate. Hold it. So that's if you do this. Fucking mentals that is on it.
Here we have it then. That's check-in done. One more check-in. Well, let's say one more check-in. The next check-in will be shortly in the morning. Once again in Jay's garden. The lighting wasn't the best, to be honest. We did end up going into the tunnel. I'll chuck some photos on the old screen. We're just going to go and see my dad now. I've not seen him for fucking ages. So, nice little catch up with my dad, Jen and the dogs. Received the plan of attack for today from Jay. So we will be running protein and fats only, which consists of eggs, egg whites, salmon, asparagus, whey, I believe there's a little bit of berries on there, a bit of dark chocolate and chicken. So going to top up on some supplies now before I see Katie after the gym session, because I'll be honest, the last thing I want to be doing is leaving it till later in the day when I know I'm going to be shattered. So POA is get inside Tesco's ASAP, get what we need, along with some bits for Katie. I'm a little bit stressed, to be honest. I'll be totally transparent. Not sure why. Probably because the show is obviously 24 hours away or less, just over, and yeah, I don't know, maybe just me and the lack of sleep and stuff catching up. But as I said, last night wasn't too bad on the sleep front, so I'm just going to kind of try and not think about the show, focus on what I can do, know what I can't do, and yeah, just chill out and look forward to it, because that's what it's about. It's not that deep. So that's what we're going to do. Practice some posing today, refine that. I'm glad I went through some rounds this morning, because that kind of puts me at ease, because I know what I'm going to do on stage. It's nothing worse when your mind goes blank and it's like, fuck, which order was I supposed to do these in? But obviously the more you do it, the more natural it becomes, and my posing's in a pretty good spot. It's just the conditioning. It gives me a little bit of anxiety regarding, like, you know, keeping that breathing nice and controlled. The last thing you want to do is look like you're absolutely blowing up your ass. So yeah, a bit of food shop, home for a couple of check-ins to pick up on for guys who couldn't check in yesterday. Jamie Gray's going to be happy because he's having his first couple of extra carbs of prep. Probably just going to run one high day with him, because he is only down like 1.5 pounds this week, which is, you know, take nothing away, he's still good, but it's still fat to shift off his physique. So we're going to be running one high day, which he doesn't actually know yet, so we'll be looking forward to that, and then back to the grind tomorrow for him. So he's worked hard though, in all fairness. He's looking sick. I'm probably chuck some photos here, we'll see. But yeah, as you can see, he looks awesome. Been working with Jamie for like I think it's almost 3 years now. Flirted with the idea of doing a show last year, but he just wasn't really ready himself. I thought he was, but again, it's personal preference, no pressure, no stress. Oh, by the way, the meal plan today, pro fat, so works out about 1,500 calories. So a little bit on the depressing side, but needs must. And yeah, no volumizing meals today. You know, I say volumizing, what I mean by that is having like 100 grams of, you know, salad, spinach, etc. with a meal, because that's what I usually do. However, it is a lot more satiating, but at the same time, it does cause that digestive stress that I was referring to earlier in the a previous video. So we're back in the kitchen. Oh shit, the eggs are. Oh, they're good. So yeah, we're back in the kitchen. Chopped them, bits and bobs for myself, bits and bobs for Katie. Pretty much just salmon, egg whites, a bit of salad for her, mushrooms, dark chocolate for myself, and I'm gonna run through the plan of attack for today regarding food. So my asparagus with meal 1, I'm pretty much having asparagus with most meals apart from the last one. I suppose the green beans that are on the meal plan, just because they set better for my digestion. We've got a pro fat today, so this is going to essentially continue the drying off process, if you like. I'm not watery by any means, but we can always get crisper. We're looking for that kind of like shrink wrapped look, which is, you know, as tight as we can possibly get, kind of as little water as possible. So yeah, like I said, I'm not watery, however, we can always get crisper. That's our goal. We always want to bring an improved package each and every show, and one thing we haven't quite seen yet is that crisp, grainy look. I'm not going to win the show based on my class, based on, you know, musculature. I'm not going to be the heaviest or the most the guy carrying the most muscle. Yeah, so we're going to play to our strengths, which ultimately for me is allowing myself to display a small waist, a V-taper, and nothing complements that more than being absolutely shredded and dry out of your mind. So that's our plan, which means food's going to be low today, the lowest day of prep. Contrary to the last show, actually similar to last show, but not as low. However, my first season, for example, with my former coach, Lewis, we kind of like loaded heavily the day before, and it's situational. It's very person dependent. Again, very, very individual, and the judgment has been made based off what Jay sees and what kind of look we want to deliver, and that's what will be done. So 5 meals, protein and fats, no direct carb sources other than what is in the blueberries in my final meal, and obviously the trace carbs in whatever's in dark chocolate. I don't think there's anything really, and then obviously the asparagus. So yes, there'll be some in a bit of sauce, some of this chewing gum in my mouth potentially, but pretty much no direct carb sources. Okay, now is that fun? No, of course it's not, but it does mean I get to enjoy things like eggs, which I've not eaten pretty much all prep other than when, you know, told to. I've had egg whites throughout the majority of prep. However, you know, eggs themselves, you know, the yolk, which I seem to have come down here, bro, actually made pretty decent. I was going to say shite, but I've actually made that pretty decent. So yeah, it's nice to have different kinds of foods on the higher fat days. It's by no means high fat, it's like, I think it's like 80 grams of fat, to be honest, if that. But it works out less food than Katie once again. So she's had me once or twice there. So yeah, 1,500 calories, just over 1,500 calories. I'll go through each meal, etc., etc. Can't really drink too much water either because we're going to be cutting that off at a certain time. Brought down from 10 to 7 litres. And then also, I've not got the ability to volumize things, as I mentioned. So arguably one of the hardest days of prep, but ultimately one of the funnest. And I've got a lot of editing to do for these videos, which means I'm going to be occupied for most of the day. So Mason's plan's been updated. He's going to be having like 3-4 times as much carbs as me today. By no means a high day, but ultimately like a baseline day, because he's pretty much smack bang on the money. Especially for his first show. Different to myself, obviously being not only not my first show, but also my third and final show of the season, where I want to bring that final package. So yeah, he's looking sick. He'll be up later on today, so we'll have a little chat and chinwag. But yeah, egg whites, asparagus, and 3 eggs for breakfast. So 200 grams of egg whites, that is, if I didn't mention that already. I cooked my asparagus in the air fryer, so it goes like, I would say crispy, but that doesn't look very crisp at all. Yeah, maybe I undercooked them, believe it or not, even though that doesn't look undercooked at all. But it's just easier to chuck them in the air fryer and leave them be, and then enjoy it. Now, for servings or 4 capsules, so 1 serving of Peak Max is already been consumed. I also have another 3 servings of the 4 across the day, and I'll probably show you each meal today. And there we have the final products. Katie just texted me, are you on your way? Yeah, of course I am.
It is Wednesday, the 6th of May. I took yesterday off vlogging for obvious reasons.
It is 10:30. Katie's okayed me with no kisses. And Man's got to get on the road. So, yes. So, it is, what's the time, boy? No. Mason's asking if he can sit on my settee after I spent, an hour tanning him. Yeah, first tanning client underway. I'm drying off as we speak. So, since we last spoke, Man's had his eyebrows done, facial, and lastly, I had food, so obviously pro fats for the day, as well as dozed off for a nap, only like literally 5 minutes. I had to wait for this guy to come to my house. He looks like a Roman fucking king. I said I'm going to start calling him Mario now instead. You can see him there. He was a pause by. That's all you're going to see for today, guys. Tomorrow, unless you want me to give a little... We'll keep it for the show day. But yeah, first tanning client sorted. I'll be honest, I was a bit nervous.
10-10.
But he's looking 10-10, as he just said. So, protocol for this evening will be similar to myself. We're going to be on stage very similar times. I believe I'm on just after him. So, the deal is going to be water cut off at 7 p.m. Salt already cut off, and basically begin the diuresis process. I believe that's the word. So just trying to basically get as much, not as much fluid, because we still want to keep intramuscular fluid, but the kind of subcutaneous excess water that come.
Pull too flat, do we?
No. And it's his first show of the season. So with myself, like, this is my kind of final opportunity to bring my best. We got plenty of opportunities with Mason. We're doing 2 more shows. So it's his first year. He's a junior. He's 23 years of age, and there's plenty of leeway to improve from here. I still think we've done an awesome job. We just worked out. We've had this week for Mason. He's had 4,000 after the day, 4,400 grams of carbs. So we've been hammering the maple syrup on my way. It's a bit ballsy, but I believe it's going to pay off because I've been monitoring him daily, as you should be as a coach, going into peak week, going into a show. He literally gained like 2 kg, not even 2 kg. It wasn't even 2. So for example, myself, where I went from 201 to 209, which is 8 pounds, so about 4 kilograms, or just shy of. He went up like 4.5 pounds. Do you know what I mean? So it's a big difference. Hence why he was on a lot more food than me. But like I said, it's situational. Expenditure needs to be taken into account. So yeah, he's looking good. Just needing to essentially just rest, chill out, similar to myself, have a nice sleep. He's got a sleeping bag because his missus don't want him staying in the sheets. Thankfully, I've stained the sheets enough times because she doesn't care. So she does care, but so yeah, that's that. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my water. I got 3 eggs, 200ml of egg whites, followed by 50 grams of whey and a bit of berries, which will be the first direct carbs, if you want to call them that, later today. And then we're off to bed. Not me and Mason, me and Katie, believe it or not. So probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'll be going to bed. Go switch off at 9:30, 10, and hopefully sleep the night. I'll make sure I sleep the night. So thank you for watching, and we'll pick back up in the morning, which will more than likely make sense to be another video. Goodness knows how many videos these are going to be, but we'll make do with what we have. And yeah, appreciate the support, the love, the likes, the comments, and the haters, because that's what drives us, baby. So yeah, that's that. Hope everyone's well. Say goodbye.
See you later.
Intense in his abs, wanker.